Okay, 4th of November. I'm actually redoing this video, so same idea as previously. Just going to keep showing my condition while I'm doing this cutting phase. The idea is that this is going to motivate me to see it through. So I'm putting all this out in public, and people I know watching it, friends, family, people that I've communicated with quite a while, and so I'm thinking if I put these out in public, you know, it's gonna make me have to stick to what I'm saying, which is I'm cutting, and I'm gonna hopefully cut quite deep. I'm not got any fixed end point, but I'm at least gonna go for a 5 kilo weight loss, and that's just the beginning. From there, I'm not quite sure. See what the result is. So I get the 5 kilos, play it from there. So you know, if I've got considerable more fat, I'll keep going. Probably have. Yeah, I definitely accumulate fat in the love handle area. So all this area. So I think it's improving though. Yeah, I think it's very much fluctuating state of affairs. So I'm going to imagine that a lot of it is it's fluid retention, and that's going to be affected by salt, or how much cardio or activity you're doing. So if you're sitting around all day and eating salty food, you're probably going to end up with sort of like this bags of fluid around your middle. But as soon as you sort of like get active, then that is going to remedy. So it's not absolutely a case of being really fat. It's fat's involved though, obviously. So okay, the reason why I'm actually re-recording this. So I did this morning, and I've actually taken it down from the internet because I want to talk about collagen. So I'm no expert on any of this. Most of this is me playing it by ear. Yeah, it's an experimental one. If you get anything out of it, if anything that I say resonates, good for you. But I'm not making any claims that this is something that will work for anyone else. But and I'm not going to say that I've got no formal qualifications in any of this. Yeah. Most of my career has been in teaching Spanish. Not only that though, I've been quite a bit of a manual labour jobs in the mix as well. But nothing to do with fitness, nothing to do with diet. But anyway, today I was on my my travels in internet land. I saw this piece on collagen, and it struck me as being very important. And the fellow who delivered it seemed to be quite balanced and seemed to be quite sane. And he was saying that the key to building or retaining muscle after 60, it's not only a case of protein and resistance training. Collagen, he emphasized collagen as being highly significant, and specifically for this this demographic over 60s. And obviously that tweaked my interest because I'm 3 months off 60, so I'm very soon going to be posting the genuine article, Fit at 60 Plus. It won't be long. Okay. Basically what he was saying is that most of the supplements that you buy are not particularly effective, because you need to have the sort of like the natural gelatin that comes with it. It needs to be the whole package. It can't just be collagen peptides in isolation. And that seems to be a general theme with supplements, doesn't it? Sort of like vitamins on their own without food don't seem to be effective. you know, you need the, you know, what comes with the collagen. You need to be eating the food itself. But he emphasised fish skin, fish skin broth. He talked about that, and chicken feet broth. Yeah. Anyway, I found, oh, that sounds a bit, I don't know, difficult. Yeah. How the hell are you gonna make fish skin broth? Where do you get these fish skin from? Chicken feet. I don't know. I've never seen chicken feet in my local supermarket. I'm gonna guess that you could probably go to a butcher's and get chicken feet. I've got no idea. I can't remember ever going to a butcher's and buying meat ever. I suppose that's the world we live in. You go to the supermarket for everything. Okay. Anyway. By the by. So I thought, okay, all sounds very interesting. I'm pretty much motivated to find out a bit more. So I did I had a read around, and basically what I could make of it. Yeah. So take this as someone in your position, someone who doesn't know very much about nutrition, collagen. Well, I think anybody who's been involved in training for a long while probably knows a lot more about nutrition than the average person. But no specific training, let's say, no specific qualifications. Just what I've picked up over the years. Probably forgotten more than I picked up. But anyways, what I could make of it is that, okay, regarding collagen, you don't need broth. You can simply eat cooked sauces. But it emphasised cooking. So you can't, from what I make of it, you cannot readily digest raw chicken skin or raw fish skin. It emphasised cooked sauces. And of those cooked sauces, and also it said that you're going to get a far better result if you pair your cooked chicken skin or cooked fish skin with a source of vitamin C. Okay, so for me that's not an issue at all. I can very, very easily involve a little bit of fruit or lemon juice or whatever. It's not an issue at all. But I think for people who are following carnivore diet, vitamin C is an issue. I'm not saying that you can't get vitamin C on a carnivore diet, but it's a bit awkward, isn't it? It's not readily occurring. But you can get it, I think, from organs. But are you going to be eating sort of like liver alongside your chicken skin? Probably not, unless you know to do that. Anyway. And then I went a bit further, and I thought, the actual original YouTube offering was saying that the very, very best, the best source of this is marine collagen from fish skins. So okay, so I went a bit further and delved into sources of marine collagen, and what I came up with, or the source that I read, said that your very, very, very best source is small fish like sardines. So not only are you getting the skin, you're getting the bones. Yeah, so they're edible, aren't they? If you eat sardines, you'll notice you're eating sardine bones. Okay, I think it mentions something like mackerel and anchovies as being also good. But yeah, that seems to be your very best bet. And and to me, I've looked at sardines for quite a while, and they do seem to be a very, very, very nutritious superfood. To the extent that any food is a superfood. Sardines seem to tick many, many boxes. Very, very useful. The only thing about sardines, is that I don't know, unless there's something wrong with you. They don't taste particularly good, do they? And they're not terrible. They're not that bad. But in the grand scheme of things, if salmon and sardines were the same price and had the same nutritional profile, I'd never eat sardines ever. Yeah. The thing about sardines is, well, A, nutritional powerhouse. B, very, very cheap. So, people who are after, cheap but good sources of protein, you can't go wrong with sardines. Well, I suppose you can, but, sardines anyway. I'm not quite sure as regards the pollutants and the toxicity, but I don't think that sardines are terribly toxic in the sense of accumulating lots and lots of mercury or whatever. I think that they're on the bottom of the food chain, aren't they? Yeah. So it tends to be the big fish, the big predators that accumulate lots and lots of toxins, whereas sardines don't. So I think from that point of view, sardines, you're going to get away with the pollutants and the toxins. None of that is really related to the sardine itself. That's the crap that we pour into the oceans, isn't it? So there is possibly some sort of downside to them. I don't know. I'm not. I just briefly looked it up, and years ago, and it seemed to me that sardines were very, very safe and healthy and effective, and definitely if you're on a budget, yeah, sardines. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say really. So that was my. I don't know. Not so. Obviously we're all vaguely aware of these collagens and I don't know, protein and all the rest of it. But definitely that made me think today when I saw that. The link between collagen and muscle building and retention at over 60. That definitely piqued my interest. Okay, so this is where I am. So I think that I'm slowly improving. It's not there's no great speed to this process, but it is a process. So it's again it's another aspect of endurance sport, isn't it? You got to keep putting one foot in front of the other. One deficit day after another, and you are inevitably bound to arrive at your destination if you keep going. Okay. I'm not going by weighing scale really very much. Long term I am. Not long term, definitely wanting to be 80 kilos, but on a day-to-day basis, I don't think that weighing scale is a tool that you can rely on. Too much fluctuation, water fluctuation. I don't know. Yeah, your body changes. But I just go on appearance, and I think that on a daily basis, I think it's slightly improving as time goes by, and that's what you expect. Yeah. This is not miracles. It's not drugs. This is not Mr. Olympia. This is what it is. This is a person in their later years, fighting the decline really. And anybody who says that there is no decline, I think wake up and smell the coffee. Of course, even if you're not sort of like losing muscle, or even if you're gaining muscle, you're still doing it with a body that is less responsive than it used to be. There are processes. There are biological processes that are slowing down. There are problems building up. Your discs are drying. You've got to be careful. Your tendons become less elastic. You're dealing with a less responsive biological system, but you can put up a hell of a good fight, I think, and I think you can avoid a lot of the really negative outcomes. You can avoid 10-20 years of hospitals and decrepitude, if you put in the effort. I think it's worth it. I really do. I think it's worth it. Okay, it's a big slice of your time, it's a big slice of your day, but I don't find the process to be particularly miserable, or it's not that awful. you know, that there is some joy to be had in the actual process itself, I think. Yeah, you know, a lot of feel good involved. It's not all rainbows and unicorns. You know, there's effort involved. There is a degree of pain and a degree of discomfort. But I think what you get out of it is probably, you know, it's all a question of, you know, luck, isn't it? You know, what we're dealing with here are statistics and probabilities. So yeah, you could spend a lifetime, you know, doing fitness and you know, come to an early grave. You know, and that's the luck of the draw. Yeah, but I think you know, you in terms of statistics and probabilities, you're definitely skewing things in your favour. Yeah, as I say, it's all fun when you're young. You know, you can give yourself some tremendous abuse. You can do all sorts wrong and get away with it. But you know, at the end, if you've not amended your ways, you know, early enough, then you're going to pay. Yeah, as I say, you know, nobody's guaranteed a positive result, but you can improve your chances and avoid 10-20 years of misery at the end of life. Okay, let's do it. Anyway, make your choice. Pay your money, make your choice. It's up to you. I know what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to give it a good fight. Okay, that's it for today. So, yeah. So what I'm going to do today is a lower body session. So I've seemed to have dropped into this pattern of, you know, 3 meals a day. 3 meals a day, 3 cardio sessions a week, 3 weight training sessions a week. Yeah. Of those 3 weight training sessions, 1 is lower body and 1 is upper body and 1 is full body. Yeah, I think that's about the pattern that I'm in now. Yeah, that seems to have, you know, almost without thinking about it, that seems to be what's happened. Okay, stop there. So another day in cutting land. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I can see myself on a little screen and it looks absolutely wonderful. But I think as soon as you know, expand it to a big screen, then you see all the faults. Yeah, it looks a lot different. But for the time being, I think it's progress. Okay, bye.